3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the Lightforge tier list valuation stream VOD podcast thing. This is ADWCTA.
This is Merps. Hello. We are doing Druid. This is a class that you know all about. So we're going to do this much shorter.
Super
First card,
fast.
let's go.
First card is an epic card. It is the best card. It is 176. That is really, really high. That is super, super high. That is a card that I don't think should exist. Not just like I don't think it should exist because I am ADWCTA and I am a buzzkill, but like really it should not exist, right? That's like anything above 150 I don't think should exist. Anything like above a 175, and this barely qualifies, no one should think it exists. It just messes with the fundamental principles of the game. Because remember, all of these scores are already centered. They're already centered with the average card you are offered being a 100. So it's not just that, oh, well, if all the cards are good, then this is fine. No, this compared to all the other cards you are being offered, even at their really high, this is Year of the Dragon, like whatever, like power levels, this is still insane. All right, with that out of the way, Marsh Hydra, 7 mana, 7/7 rush. After this attack, which includes the turn that you play it, add a random 8 cost minion to your hand.
Yeah. So look, you just get to turn 7. This is like just gonna be useful. 7/7 rush is nice. And if you didn't have a play before, you have a play now for next turn.
And if this survives a turn, which it may very well survive a turn,
yes,
you not only get another 7 damage onto something, but you get another huge drop. And what do you want when you're at like 7 mana, right? You want an 8 drop, or you just want big cards because you're in the late game now. This just gives it to you.
So, look, the only thing kind of holding it back is the fact that it's on 7 mana, right? And there's a lot of good things on 7 and 8 mana, but random 8 cost minions, they're weird. Like, some are really powerful, some are just really weird. And the fact that you're not getting something super consistent is holding it back. Like, by holding it back, I'm like, why isn't it like a 250 or something?
Yeah.
So it's only a 176.
Yeah.
Because it's not like a perfect card. It is just a busted, supremely good card.
Oh my god.
The perfect card.
And yes, it is the best Druid card in the upcoming meta. The next highest is 168, which is Oasis Surger, which everyone knows is really good.
Yeah.
Your Emerald Explorer is a 164. So yes, this is better than an Emerald Explorer. All right. Next card is a 152, so still super premium. This is like the Twin Tyrant Rap Golem level. This is Ironbark. Ironbark is a 2 mana spell that says give a minion +1/+3 and taunt. Costs 0 if you have at least 7 mana crystals. So this is like Mark of the Wild, except it's giving +1/+3 instead of +2/+2. Which, depending on what stage of the game you're in, is either a better or a worse stat distribution, but usually it's a better stat distribution. And then if you are in the late game, you gain 2 extra mana. So it goes from, and Mark of the Wild, by the way, is like a 80 something. I'm trying to find out. Yeah, it's 83. So this is like that much better than a Mark of the Wild.
It's just really good. It's the stat distribution is pretty much what you want as well.
The stat distribution compared to Mark of the Wild is worth like 20 points, by the way. Like almost 20 points.
Much better, yeah. Like you'll find that lots of the times you don't really want to give a +2/+2. Like +1/+3 is kind of perfect in terms of distribution. Does the cost reduction matter? Kind of.
Yeah.
Like it's like sort of yes. And because of that, it ends up being a really good card. You're going to pick this, and you're going to be really, really happy with it in all stages of the game. Early on, if you need to use the mana, sure. Later on, a free +1/+3 and taunt, that's really good, right?
Because, like, you know what's going to happen. It's going to be turn 7. Your opponent's going to somehow get something with, like, I don't know, 8 health on the board to be like, haha, your Marsh Hydra can't kill me now. And then your Marsh Hydra needs to kill him. Because this card is free. All right, moving on. We are now down to 137. It's Druid, okay? You can't give Druid very good cards. That's just kind of the accepted Hearthstone design philosophy for Druid. Marsh Hydra is an epic. It's an exception. For the most part, Druid doesn't have terribly good cards. 137 is pretty good. It's premium. And it is 3 mana, deal 3 damage to a minion, which is not good. But cost 0 if you have at least 7 mana crystals. So Again,
which is
that's the really good
insane.
part. You
Yeah.
you try your best to hold this card until turn 7. You use it for
Yeah.
3 damage in emergencies, or on turn 7 you get 3 extra initiative.
Yeah. And once again, games are going on for a while.
You're gonna get
Games
to
are going to
turn
go on for a
7
while.
definitely every game.
Yeah. So this is why this card is like a 137, which is really, really freaking good. It's part of the reason why Ironbark is not like, in other metas, Ironbark would have been not as high. Still very good. Ironbark will always be a very good card. But in this upcoming meta, based on the speed of the game, Ironbark is a 150 level good. So
All right. Germination. We're now below 100 at a 96. This is like Kodo, Stampeding Kodo level. I don't know. Gyrocopter, Silver Moon Guardian. Like, definitely cards that are okay in a deck, but you're not like the most hyped about. Summon a copy of a friendly minion, give the copy taunt.
yikes.
We've seen this stuff, right? Molten Reflections, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah. It's not good enough.
Yeah.
It's conditional and pretty fair.
Nope, it's
Wow.
fair.
Conditional and fair must be a crap card.
All right, moving on. Now we're at to 86. Again, you don't want these cards in your deck, but if they're in there, they're not like the end of the world. And it's surprising because this card's kind of a weird card. It's Overgrowth. 4 mana, gain 2 empty mana crystals. So it's like what Nourish used to be without the card draw option that everyone uses, and you don't get like the mana immediately. You may be surprised at how high this is because it seems like this is not a very arena friendly card, but if you have these in your deck, you can get to the late game faster. And you know what cards are really good these days by their stat value and their mana output? The freaking 7, 8, and 9 mana cards. Like, Blizzard's gotten to the point where they're just overprinting stats and like stuff onto like these high mana cards. And this helps you get there. And as a druid, you also have those synergies we talked about before where stuff starts being free after 7 mana. It just all works together pretty well.
Yeah, like this is a card that you might expect to have like 0 value, right? But it works. Look, should you draft this over anything decent? Like, no. Will you end up with one of these in your deck at some point? Probably. And it'll be deck dependent. And also, you could just draft for your bad cards. But like, you're gonna have Bog Beams, you're gonna have Iron Barks, and those are perfect with this card as well. Because if you play this, you're going to be behind. What do you want when you're behind? Taunt, cheap taunt. Hey, that's Iron Bark. What do you want? Cheap removals. What about a free 3 damage? So those are cards that you're just going to draft anyways, right? And if you're just going to draft those anyways, this suddenly becomes not terrible.
Yep.
Still 86, which is bad, but not terrible bad.
Yep. And it does have the same effect as Wild Growth. So at the very end, you can pay the mana and just get a card.
Yep.
So it's not like totally dead.
It's not good.
Yeah.
It's close to where like Flesh Eating Ghoul is.
Yeah.
It's close to where something like a Murloc War Leader is. So it's not good. It will be sometimes playable in some decks.
Yep, exactly.
That's the best
like
way to put
if you want to value it at around a Yeti and try to take this card over a Yeti, you need a very synergized deck. But it can happen.
It could happen. Yeah.
All right. Next
I think that's fair.
Yep. Next is 84. Here you have another dormant card. This one's very not good. 3 mana, 3/3 demon. Because druids and demons are a thing now. Dormant for 2 turns. When this awakens, reduce the cost of a random minion in your hand by 5. So when it awakens 2 turns later, you don't get any like tempo or anything. It's just a 3/3, which is even bad for playing it on turn 3. Much less having it pop up on turn 5. It's like a very small and useless body. And instead, you've basically like sunk 3 mana in now to get 5 mana in later. Except the 5 mana comes on a random minion, which means it's very likely not even 5 mana.
That's the thing. So for those of you guys saying that this is like a trash card, it's not a trash card. It's like 5 mana,
but it's
if
not.
it hits,
yeah,
like if it actually reduces a minion by like the cost of 5, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty good. but you can't control what it is.
And you can't
So
control that it even gets 5. So, and
yeah,
it's all
exactly.
random, and so like,
Yeah.
don't
You
take
will lose
it.
to this card because someone will play a 2-mana Marsh Hydra, and you're gonna be real sad about it. uh, but yeah, it's
Yeah,
bad. On
yeah,
average, it's quite bad, and the score reflects it.
yep. Stay away. Okay, now some more bad cards. Druids were really getting, like, besides the Marsh Hydra, which you're not going to see that often because it's epic, like, Druids really got screwed a lot in this set. Fungal Fortress is next. It's a 58. Don't draft this. This is Secret Keeper levels of bad. I mean, Secret Keeper in Druid levels of bad. 2 mana Fungal Fortunes. Draw 3 cards. Discard any minions drawn. You will have a lot
Wow.
of minions. This is the arena. You will be happy to draw 1 card out of
Yeah.
this for 2 mana.
So for those of you guys wondering why this is not worse, you will have a decent amount of spells. And sometimes when you're drawing in desperate times, spells are usually
Yes.
what you want
Yeah.
over minions. So, and remember, a lot of times discards don't really matter. It's still really bad. But
don't
this
take
is
this.
what's giving it like a 58
Yeah.
instead of like a 0.
Yeah, if you're wondering why the algorithm is doing, that's what it's doing. But really, practically
Yeah.
speaking, don't take it. Finally, another epic card, 5 mana. It's Glowfly Swarm. Summon a 2/2 Glowfly. It's 5 mana. Summon a 2/2 Glowfly for each spell in your hand. You're not gonna have a lot of spells in your hand. Summoning a 2/2 Glowfly means you need like 3 spells in your hand at least to make it like sort of a 5-drop. Like it's terrible.
You need 3 spells, yeah, to make it fine, to make it okay. Yeah,
it's bad.
it's really bad. Cool.
Legendaries, going over them really quick. The bad legendary is Ysayle Windsinger, a 9 mana 5/5. Your spells cost 1 mana. The 1 or 2 spells that you have in your hand will cost 1 mana. One you will play immediately and make this like still bad for that turn. And the other one, probably is not that high mana costing. If this 5/5 lives, you will play it, save some mana a turn later at like 10 mana. Like this is no, don't do it.
The only thing saving it is like it's a 5/5 still.
Yeah.
So if you're in the
5/5.
super late game, it's a 5/5. That is literally
what even big spells are there? I don't even think there are any like good. Like it's not like there's Ultimate Infestation in.
I know.
Right? Like Overflow is your best giant spell. It's a 7 mana restore 5 health, draw 5 cards card.
I know,
but that's rare, and you got to combo it, and it's just like at that point you're basically getting like 3 mana for a 5/5 on top of that. Like that's not, and you have to use 2 cards. Like no, like even in that case, it's even in best case scenarios, it's very iffy.
All right, let's talk about the next card. You can say its name.
All right, so the Archspore M guy. The Archspore M guy with a bunch of consonants in its name. I'll pronounce it the way people pronounce my name. The Archspore MSSHIFN guy is a 3 mana 3/4 taunt, which is pretty good.
That's really good.
Like you want that card. Great for curve. Good 3-drop. And then has the Death Rattle, which is to shuffle MSSHIFN Prime into your deck. And what does the Prime card do? I actually don't have this like pulled up.
I have it in front of me. It is 10 mana. So you're like, wow, Merps, it better be good. It better be amazing. It is amazing. 10 mana for a 9/9 taunt. And you choose one on top of that. So you get the 9/9 taunt and you choose one. Summon a 9/9 fungal giant with taunt or rush. So for 10 mana, you either get double 9/9 taunts and both at the same time. So this isn't like that Scrapyard Colossus in which it's one body with a Death Rattle. No, you get both 9/9 bodies at once, or you just get a 9/9 taunt with a 9/9 rush. Insane.
Yeah.
Like so stupidly insane.
And that's why it's not a card. That's why it's a card that gets shuffled in your deck. So you have a lower chance of drawing it and all that stuff. But still, this is like a card that's really good on curve and is really like, gives you an upside of drawing this ridiculous card later on. So it's a 190. That makes it the best legendary in Druid besides Zephyrs.
Yeah.
easily.
This is like, because typically you don't give much credit for stuff that shuffles in. But when games go on for longer, and when the card that you're shuffling in your deck is so stupidly broken, like that card is M prime, as you call it, it matters. And yeah, like in the in the cases, also you're literally not giving up any stats to shuffle that in. In fact, you're gaining more. You're only supposed to get 3/4. You're not supposed to get taunt with it.
Hey, monkeys beg to differ.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
All right, so that's Druid. How do you think Druid will do in the new meta, Merps?
Look, Druids, like we talked about, are always going to be fine in the hands of an infinite arena player, right? They have like good flexible tools, and if you look at some of their top rated cards, especially with Ironbark and Bogbeam, what do these offer? Extra flexibility. They offer breakpoints. They offer a little bit of tempo, and then stupid Marsh Hydra is just going to give them an insane amount of like. It's epic, so you won't see it that often. But if they have one, it will give them an insane amount of like refresh and refill. It'll be fine. If we think about, it's like, okay, well, how does this expansion sort of expand them? It doesn't.
Yeah.
It just gives them a lot of what they already have. We're making a big deal out of like how good Marsh Hydra is, but it isn't epic. So yeah, once again, and also Archspore M guy is a legendary. Yeah. So their best two cards are like ridiculously OP, but not common at all.
Yeah. So the one thing that not this expansion necessarily, but also mixed with the Year of the Dragon cards that are coming back in Standard, what it does with Druid, because Druid is normally very balanced. You're like on the board, you like buff your guys, like a lot of buff alls in Druid, and then you can go like and get some big minions later on, maybe like some taunt minions. It definitely puts the thumb on the scale for Druid towards the big minion side and the late game side, right? Not only do all the normal stuff like have the like it's free past 7 mana, but you also like Overflows back, we talked about before, that draws you 5 cards. That's like a great Ultimate Infestation replacement. Emerald Explorer is still in this meta. Winged Guardian is still in. Your Oasis Surge is still like there's a lot of big cards that are coming in, and there's not a lot of support for like doing stuff with your tokens. Also like Forest Aid is in. That's the twin spell that summons 5/2/2 Treants. Like a lot of the good cards that are in are structured to be good card advantage cards. And for this meta, that's really good because that's going to be what wins games. So you will have higher odds of getting the types of cards that will win games, even if the cards you're getting aren't necessarily as powerful as the cards in other classes. So it's pushing the Druid in the right direction for this upcoming meta. But Druid is still Druid. Don't expect Druid to be super powerful.
Yep.
Okay, that's it. You want to give some shout-outs before we go to the next class?
Sure. Shout out to, I don't know, everyone in Twitch chat, I guess. This is the most enthusiastic shout out ever.
Is it already? It can't already be getting late. We're on Druid. We have 8 more classes to go, man.
All the people claps for you guys. Thank you. Shout out to whoever invented the chocolate chip cookie.
Truly, so good. So good.
Truly. The real hero. But thank you guys for listening wherever you are. Hopefully you guys are staying safe from COVID-19. Just stay indoors, play games, eat chocolate chip cookies. We'll all be fine.
We're all safer now than we've ever been because we ain't doing anything. So not just like COVID-19, but like we're not getting in traffic accidents because we're not, out. Like it's just a very safe time for people.
Very safe.
Very safe time. The safest time.
All right. See you when we come back for Hunter. Bye, guys.
See ya.